It's Christmas Eve, and I have come into the office to stream this emergency transmission on YouTube and Facebook because if this doesn't get major attention, and if this doesn't break through into the public's psyche, the globalists have a decent chance of killing the president in the next 2 weeks and taking over the media, using the emergency alert system, the Obama kill switch that's still in place, to really bring this country into a civil emergency, is what they'll call it, but it's really martial law. Now, in the last few months, I have followed, but never really spoken of, QAnon or Q Anonymous. And a lot of what QAnon has said, I already had gotten separately from my White House sources, my Pentagon sources, my CIA sources. And folks know we have amazing sources. It's been a big issue in the media trying to keep the president from getting our information and the president giving us information. One of those sources is public. His name's Zach, and we know who he is. He's a famous former member of Army Special Operations and the whole Joint Forces operation out of Florida. And he is part Muslim. His mother was Muslim and comes from some of the more wealthy folks in Morocco, where he is now. And some of the things he said on air were so serious, he was picked up by the FBI and taken to the U.S. military base. He was then released, and he has gone to Morocco, where he believes it's safer for him to be able to even call into the show. I'm probably going to have to get in touch with him today and get him back on for another emergency transmission in the next few days, just to go over all this intel. He doesn't want to give me a lot of the intel now, obviously, because he's under massive scrutiny. But I have other sources as well that are saying what he's telling me is dead on. So before I get into all of this, I want you to listen to me very, very carefully. Very, very carefully. I don't just go off my intel sources, sources that have been proven to be right over and over again. I go off of watching the globalists and what they're doing in the media. Now, what does QAnon say? QAnon doesn't even basically say who they are. They just say that they have sources. Well, there was a plan in November to take Trump out. Clapper and Brennan and others had signaled this on national television at the Aspen Institute in October. We played those clips. They said he's going to be taken out in the next month or so, next 2 months, and that it's not going to be judicial, it's not going to be legislative, it's not going to be impeachment. There's a Wolf Blitzer clip. We've played it probably 30 times. And you've got Phil Mudd, the former counterterrorism head of the CIA, that's the group that has the teeth in it, saying the government's going to kill Trump. That's a signal that we're strong, we're moving ahead, we're on target, to people in the cells, in the groups. Now, I was made aware of contingency operations to stop this when the president was president-elect. And I was made aware of the groups that were involved by multiple sources, people that have been in Delta Force, people that have been high-level Navy SEALs, and it's not the people you see on the shows. It's not Craig Sawyer, former leader, SEAL Team 6. It's not Tonto Toronto, the hero of Benghazi who comes on as a friend. But it's people of that caliber. Delta Force, high-level Navy SEALs, CIA. And they told me how Trump was being protected during the campaign and during the transition by Eric Prince and by a breakaway group of CIA that's pro-U.S. And I was even given the names, and that they appreciated what I was doing and were watching our 6. And we even had issues where people came into town to try to get me. We were given intel that was spot on. I mean, this is like a movie, but it's real, okay? And so I was reached out to by those groups, and then I confirmed with the president, indeed, that that was going on, just in a brief conversation about the subject and about our mutual friends. And Then, of course, it came out in The Intercept about a month ago, and then in Politico that Trump's creating a private group of intelligence operatives and all the rest of this. But I can tell you, again, the only way to do this is just lay it all out, because I don't want to get into things I'm not supposed to get into, but I also want people to understand how real this is. Flynn was sent in to the Trump organization by others that didn't want to put themselves on the radar, and was basically asked to go in and do this because everybody else was scared to. So Flynn was basically the only guy willing to be the public person of the Resurgence of America organization, the Make America Great Again organization, that actually wants to bring the power back to the country and likes free market and likes religious freedom and, aren't globalist assholes. So, who don't want to sell us out to radical Islam and the whole leftist agenda. I mean, there are people like that, and they know what the American people are upset, and so the American people have woken up. The American people are involved. The Infowars audience has been involved. Matt Drudge has been involved. So there's a perfect storm of this stuff aligning. Now, QAnon, a lot of what I saw QAnon say was really good intel and is spot on with other intel I had, and was trying to warn people that they're going to try something in November, but the legs got cut out from under that, so they were unable to do it. But they said on CNN, on MSNBC, at the Aspen Institute, we're taking him out in the next 2 months. That was the signal. Very arrogant signal, but to look confident with their networks that are dwindling. The Saudis have cut off the money to the Clinton networks and the globalist and the traitors in our intelligence agencies that have been bought out by the communist Chinese and the Saudi Arabians, who the Chinese use as a pass-through for the money. This group's been cut off by Benjamin Netanyahu inside Israel. That's why you've seen all that going on. So as I address YouTube and Facebook here, and everybody else, I'm just going to lay this out as best I can. But I basically know from sources who QAnon is. I know that it is someone being given information secondarily from within the private security network. It's like a stay-behind network from the original republic, you could call it, of people inside U.S. intelligence agencies that have a long track record of being patriots and who aren't globalist and who don't like seeing America get screwed over. So I know what QAnon's being given as real intel, and I basically know who is giving him the intel. And this is the best thinking that the very individuals you read about in the Intercept article and others, I'm not going to get into my information, I'm just going to leave it what's already public source, believe the enemy's up to and the chatter they're getting. So they want to take Trump out in November, but we dodge it. And people go, oh, look, QAnon's not right. It didn't happen. Folks, they're all over the news saying they're going to take him out. Then they go, oh, the storm's not real. We see Hollywood going down. We see the top globalists in Hollywood going down. The same folks who are trying to take out Netanyahu, that whole leftist globalist arm, and trying to take out Trump. So it's one about Netanyahu. These are the players. They're trying to take him out. Take out the people that actually don't want to overthrow Israel. It's in the WikiLeaks that George Soros says we're going to overthrow Israel. We're going to get rid of it. Israel finally saw that and was like, my God, the Hollywood left is this bad. The Hollywood left, the Jews in the Hollywood left are so anti-Israel, so evil, that they're actually double-crossing with the Islamists and everybody else. I mean, it's incredible. So that was a big come-to-Jesus moment, no pun intended, for Israel. And people that just aren't pure evil, I mean, it's just getting down to this point. So, again, this information's out there. I'm seeing what QAnon's saying. It's tracking with my intel that I'm getting from a spectrum of good sources. And then we announced a week and a half ago, McCabe is going to resign. Now he's announced he's going to retire yesterday. That's the interim director that got caught staging the whole fake dossier and has been caught. FBI Deputy Director McCabe retiring after Trump insurance policy debacle. That's Zero Hedge up on Infowars.com. The day before that, we have Schmidt of Google, the founder of Google, the head of Google, a total globalist cutout group organization. He is stepping down reportedly because of the information that's known about him and what goes on his airplanes. Just think Jeffrey Epstein. and all the censorship and everything else. So the storm is here. You see the tax cuts. You see the border 70% secured in less than a year. You see $4+ trillion in the stock market. You see 2 million new jobs. You see all these companies signaling we're with America with $2,000 and $1,000 bonuses to their employees. As they announce, we're not going to have a 38.9% tariff while China has a 15%. Globalism's over. Selling America out is over. Bring the money back. And Trump's winning doing this. Other cowards in the corporations and people that were on the fence who don't want to be traitors but were bullied into it, they're going, okay, we're with you. And so everybody's jumping ship now. I'm getting chills. Over to make America great again. God, this is so incredible. This is real. This is happening. You see Vanity Fair coming out saying, Hillary, go away. You see CNN saying, Hillary, go away. All their dirt, all their threats, it's all imploding. And then you see the New York Times last week, the real coup plot is Trump's. So the Democrats are everywhere saying hashtag hunt Republicans, kill Republicans. The Democrats are everywhere saying we're going to overthrow him. Antifa's going to hit the streets, overthrow everybody. Soros doubles down, puts $18 billion in, but nobody shows up because they understand now they're being infiltrated by Americans. It's not even intelligence agencies. Americans are going and infiltrating these groups. Americans are taking the gloves off. I'm going to leave it at that. But it's not pretty right now. So listen, the war is already on, folks. We didn't wait for them to come attack us. We didn't wait with all their damn threats and the rest of it. That's what happened. That's what's happening right now. You're seeing a slick American counter coup to the globalists that they're calling a coup because the criminals that have hijacked the country and all their little minions that bet on it, they were wrong. They failed. Even infiltrators in my own organization got involved in all this, and we're sure we were all going to fail. Trump's not failing. I'm not failing. America's not failing. We're winning. You understand? And that's your Christmas present on Christmas Eve. So they're calling it a coup because it's justice. It's the crimes they've committed, the uranium one, the pedophilia, the money laundering, all of it. And the executive order Trump signed to seize money connected to trafficking in people, women and children and slaves, and money connected to drug dealing and all of the stuff. And they're all having to step down right now. And that's just the beginning. So the storm is real. That's our storm of justice and resistance and standing up. But the globalists are going to have a counterstrike. And Zach, who's been calling in for a couple years, but really started dropping heavy info on us about a year ago, got called in by the FBI. He sent us all of it. We've been talking to him, his lawyers, you name it. He's a famous member of Special Operations for the work he's done. His first name's Zach. Can't believe people haven't figured this out yet. And he's had to leave the country because there's still stay-behind networks in the FBI that are globalist. And he's been picked up. He's been drug into Tampa, Florida, and told, and all his computers and everything grabbed, trying to find something. Nothing was there. They had to release him. Plus, most people actually agree with him. He's not giving me anything secret, but he's giving you, from the secret knowledge he has, an analysis and a briefing that is from secret information. You see the two different things? He's not breaking the law. He's giving you an analysis and a briefing from the information he has. And he laid out exactly what happened at Vegas. It's now come out. Saudi Civil War. He laid out exactly, and he laid out exactly what was about to happen weeks ago on the show about McCabe, Google, all of it. Before Anon even released this, QAnon, he was saying it. Is he QAnon? I don't know if Zach's QAnon. I know who Zach is. But I know that whoever is giving QAnon their information is on the deck of the ship, is close to the president, is part of the security detail. Whoever's giving the information, either it's someone in the security detail or they're giving it to someone. The photos out the window on Air Force One right before the Trump lands, all of it. Because I know, because the info they're getting is on target. Now, people could spoof QAnon. There's other issues, but everybody's obsessing on QAnon, and QAnon's great. The point is that we have the swamp being drained. We have the resignations. We have the FBI releasing 3 weeks ago the devastating emails and text messages of the FBI and McCabe and all of them trying to frame Trump during the election and after, and the insurance policy and the sending the money and all of it. I mean, we have them, and we have the resignations. That's what that is kind of like when these failed TV shows fail. They go, oh, he does a magazine show once a month. Like Piers Morgan took it from 10 million viewers to 500,000. So they went, oh, Piers Morgan does a weekend show now. And then you kind of forget, and then he's gone. They never admit defeat. So, oh, he's going to retire in 90 days, so he gets his money. McCabe was going to be the director of the FBI. This is who the swamp recommended to Trump. This is who was recommended to Trump by Habib Powell and all the rest of these folks that are gone. They're gone. And so you see the signaling. See, there's a public rolling over in Hollywood and in the media and at CNN even and at Vanity Fair. Go away, Hillary. We're sick of you. Go away. That's still playing possum. They're still, and here's the big news. From Zach and others, they told Congress, the coup plotters did, when it didn't happen in November. And Roger Stone's another source, met with 3 congressmen at lunch, whole 9 yards. I'm not going to say anything else about that, but I talked to these people, and they said, yeah, no, they come in your office and they say, he'll be gone now by December, and you better get on board or you and your family are going to have problems. We're not threatening you. We're just saying that. I got the same kind of phone calls. Okay? Oh, I can't even get into all this. It's so cloak and dagger. It's so incredible. But you notice the proof's in the pudding, how Trump is delivering right now, how this is happening, and how he's restoring sovereignty to the country. That's all that's happening. Sovereignty back to America running America. Doesn't mean Trump's perfect. Doesn't mean I'm perfect. Doesn't mean you're perfect. It means we've been hijacked, we've been overtaken, and now this is happening. So the big news is, as of a few weeks ago, even as this FBI stuff was breaking and the fact that it was all rigged and Russiagate was fake, and just as we told you, as all that, and even as Trump threatens to release absolutely damning information behind the scenes on the Clinton Foundation, on the media heads, on everything, which will hurt the country and the economy, but it all has to come out. They are still running around in their main organizations like the New York Times saying the real coup is Trump. He needs to be removed. They're saying he needs to go. We're going to impeach him. We're going to get rid of him. And the word is from Phil Mudd and other people, from the contacts I have, Mudd is still running around, just like that former Deputy Defense Secretary of Obama's was in Atlantic Monthly, going around to the Defense Department publicly trying to organize people for a coup against Trump. So these crazy people are in Atlantic Monthly and in the New York Times and in the Washington Post, still trying to overthrow Trump, still trying to overthrow the election, still planning violence if that doesn't work, with full-page ads of Antifa and all the rest of this claiming they're going to do all this stuff, and trying to hype people up, hoping some rogue crazy person goes and tries to kill the president or attacks the White House. So you see Google's head resigning. You see the head of the FBI resigning or announcing retirement, the same thing. You see all this, but now they're completely desperate, and what Zach called it is the great death hurdle. Because they've got to hurdle their political death, their falling, their final failing. They want to hurdle this and actually believe if they kill Trump and declare some civil emergency and use the EAS system to take over stuff and then have Antifa hit the streets as they've announced this day of reckoning, to take Trump out, another one. And again, the media always goes, oh, Jones claims there's this plan for a coup. Jones claims that they're trying to do this. When they're saying it, they say they're going to do it. We say, hey, let's get ready for it. They go, you're crazy, because they don't want you to take it serious. They don't want the president to take it serious. Everybody's taking it serious. You can't have the former deputy head of the CIA on TV saying, we're going to kill him soon. He'll be gone in 2 months. He'll be gone in 2 months. Well, 2 months came and went. So now with the tax cuts coming in, and now with the new Supreme Court justice in, and now with the prosperity coming back, and now with all of this happening, the word from Zach and the word from other sources is the chatter has got turned way up, and they're trying to wind up Islamists on a truck bomb attack on the White House or on Mar-a-Lago and claim a jihadi did it. I mean, this is serious, and they're trying to find people in the Secret Service close to Trump that are Democrat operatives that'll do something, and they're really crazy because they just have been in power so long they think they're invincible. But here's the bottom line: the storm is real. It's called America coming back. It's called Infowars. It's called electing Trump. It's called fulfilling promises. It's called sovereignty returning. And yes, this is happening. Yes, this is going on. And yes, they're going to try to counterstrike. So let's go ahead and pull up the article, the video here from this week. Zach calling in. Zach shouldn't even have to call in. He ran to Morocco. We know who he is. I take this intel with all of it like for granted. I'm jaded. I'm not trying to be jaded. I get such incredible intel. And Zach had to leave the country. Zach is who he says he is. And here he is on the show, and it's only got 44,000 views. Again, some little comment about QAnon gets 1 million. That's great. This guy's real. This guy's known to us who he is. There's TV programs with him in it. His voice, his face. We've talked to him. He's on. He gives us this stuff exclusively. And he's had to leave the country to give you this information. This is the real QAnon. He's naming names about Vegas. He's naming names about who's going to provide what. He said 2 weeks ago, we got to find that Google's next. All this stuff. He's not just guessing. He knows. And I think one reason I don't go to him or even call him myself is subconscious cowardice, because I'm not consciously a coward. But, when you're really talking to somebody that commanded a bunch of people in special operations and who led forces, and who did the interrogations and who, everything, and they're real, there's like a brushing up against death, because this is dangerous stuff here, okay? I mean, this is real. And everybody knows this is real, okay? Media makes jokes about it. You're getting real intel, okay? You're getting the real stuff here. Because, again, this all can't be put out on mainstream media because it would cause a panic. But for people that are in the know, people that want to know, you're getting it here. And I'm completely humbled that I'm trusted with this information. I'm just up here with Rob Dew, our news director. You know why he's the news director? Call him at 3 a.m. He'll get down here. My wife's out there. His son's out there. His wife's at home packing presents. We're here because this is exciting. This is real. We're not complaining we're working on Christmas Eve. But I had no intentions of coming in here on Christmas Eve because I just get so obsessed with the news I can't turn away from it. I've got to decompress. But this is too huge. The FBI director has announced he's retiring. The head of Google has resigned. That's because they've been caught. And the companies and the organizations are having to signal to the president that they're stopping operations. But let me assure you, they're not stopping operations. And they're now preparing to make their coup against the president, claiming they had to because he was involved in a coup against our elected representatives, against our government. They say criticizing McCabe, criticizing Mueller, saying he's innocent, having his own defense, tweeting is a coup against the republic, and calling CNN fake is illegal. And they're winding themselves up to try to have a defense to their own people, but their forces are dwindling. Their organization is dwindling. Their money's been cut off. But this is when they're dangerous. And just as I've told the president every time I speak to him, they're not going to stop, sir, because you care about America. You want to go back to Americana, and they want to strangle this country. They have a serious wish, a hard-on for this country, and they're never going to stop because they know America's good, it's strong, it's wholesome, and they have envy. They have envy of you. They have envy of America. They have envy of chivalrous people. They have envy of strong people, and they're never going to stop. And they're always going to tell you they're going to stop while they're going to stab you in the back. You must give them no quarter. And so that's what's going on here. So the word is from Zach, who's proven incredibly accurate, they're planning an attack on the president after the 28th. Going into the new year, those 2 days. And again, it may get frustrated and blocked. They're failing. They have less and less people. They know they're being surveilled now. So, again, the video. Army intel officer, attempted coup against Trump imminent. I'm going to add attempted, okay? That needs to get millions of views. Again, I take it for granted, the intel we get. Zach was picked up, not once but twice, by the FBI. for what he talked about on the show. His lawyers got involved. They went through all this stuff. They told him next she might be going to Guantanamo, blah, blah, blah. He's not giving us any secrets. He is simply pointing out with his training and his sources what his analysis is. But about what really happened in Vegas with the Saudi civil war, how the Saudis were having a military drill there and were having a big conference there, that's what my other FBI sources said, hostage rescue team. And you notice my sources there said specifically what later came out, because they were upset about the fact that what was being put out was that there was no motive. So again, you see people jumping ship, turning against Hillary, turning against the globalists. You see these resignations, these retirements. You see that happening. It's unraveling. The Russia thing's unraveling. The Sexgate thing is unraveling. All of it is unraveling. The Democrats go, oh, look, we got rid of Al Franken. Oh, look, now let's get rid of Trump with no evidence. That's failing. So now they're going to attempt to go to the violence. Now they're going to attempt to go to the false flags. Now they're going to attempt to try to intimidate people. That isn't enough to break 6 ribs at Rand Paul's house. If it isn't enough to shoot Scalise, if it isn't enough to shoot all these other people and attack people's families and go after them and go and find weak people, they use cutout organizations, the same ones that put out PP-Gate and all the rest of it, to contact everyone and everyone's known organization, even on the periphery, to offer them money, to offer them, you name it, to lie, to put out disinfo. It's an intelligence operation. That's what BuzzFeed and all those groups are. Globalist Soros, Intel Ops. A Media Matters memo got leaked 5 years ago where they said, we're going to infiltrate Fox News, we're going to infiltrate independent media, not that Fox is perfect, and we're going to set them up for things. That means sending women in. That means sending in sex ops. That means doing it all. I mean, this is toe-to-toe up against super dirty dealers, folks. But now, because they're being routed, now because their claims Trump will be gone, he'll try to steal the election from him, try to steal the inauguration from him, try to block people even getting into the inauguration to say no one was there, try to intimidate his supporters, try to steal it from Sanders. They did. Try to steal it from Trump. They weren't successful because we understand and we're awake. So their power, their stay-behind networks, the bureaucrats inside government that are ignoring our constitutional operations and trying to restore the country, they're being rapidly exposed. And they're getting their money cut off, and their own people are demoralized and saying, what are we going to do? We've committed all these crimes to try to get Trump out and try to stop us. It's not working. And now they're breathing on our necks, and the globalists are saying, kill Trump, kill his family, kill his supporters. They're saying, if you don't go out and do this, we're going to burn you. We're going to release the info we've got on you. And they're trying to find the weak-minded people that can be intimidated into committing a crime. You understand? So what I'm telling you is this is the main maximum epic moment. 2017 has been a roller coaster year. It's been nothing like it. And we've only got 6-7 days left in this sucker, and they intend to try to make good to their networks to have this big Christmas present of an indictment of Kushner, an indictment of Flynn, who's already been indicted, but more indictments, an indictment of Donald Trump Jr. But now that looks so bad with all the Mueller people and everybody being Democrats and admitting it's fake and their own emails coming out admitting it's fake. So what do? Now Mueller says it's a year out. Now they say Trump's going to fire Mueller when now he's a laughingstock and a joke. You want to keep Mueller there. So you see how this is working. And this is such an amazing moment to be alive. And so they're pushing revolution. They're pushing violence in the streets. They've got their communists or Antifa out with guns. They're pushing their cop killing. They're pushing their intimidation. But America isn't intimidated. The sleeping giant isn't intimidated. And so I want to salute and thank you all on Christmas Eve here for everything you've done and everything you're doing, because this is history that's unfolding, ladies and gentlemen. And you need to share these links with everybody. Get it around the censors. Google's been caught censoring Facebook, Twitter for Hillary, blocking all the negative news about her. It didn't work. And now Vanity Fair comes out and brutally mocks Hillary. What the hell happened? Time to move on. A number of editors appear on the video released on Saturday and mocked the failed Democrat candidate. Everybody was scared to death of this mafioso, madam. Everybody was scared of this maven of evil. Now where is she? They're all abandoning her. They're all abandoning Bill Clinton because it's over. They're done. They've been broken. They've been defeated. They could have always gotten tax cuts for 34 years. They didn't want you to have them. They were shipping the jobs overseas. They were making it prohibitive to have jobs. The foot is coming off the neck of America. The boot stomping on a human face forever is coming off right now. The globalists are being broken. The globalists are failing. The globalists are being brought low because of your hopes, your prayers, praying to God. Does it mean we're out of the woods? Absolutely not. But getting Trump elected was blowing up the Death Star. Trump survives the next 6 months, gets these tax cuts in place, the economy grows to 5, 6, 7, 8%. That's throwing Emperor Palpatine down the reactor shaft, ladies and gentlemen. And it doesn't mean the enemy's not going to reorganize and come at us again. But the whole point is we have the initiative now. And if we're moral, and if we're good, and if we're strong, and if we're honorable, and if we don't hide our hand against our fellow man, like the Johnny Cash song says, we can really do some great things. But we've got to be good people. We've got to be strong. We've got to have courage. We've got to have will. We've got to ask God for guidance. And we got to realize that there's not just evil in this world, there's good. So, QAnon is basically like somebody on the football field, a coach, watching the game, telling you what he thinks the next move is from their own admissions. They're changing plans all the time. That's why predictions are a hard situation. But you have to understand the takeaway here is we have QAnons on every day saying their names and not saying their names. And we're in this fight together of one race, humanity with red blood. And if America can come back, the rest of the world can come back, and really exciting things can happen. The globalists are manipulating North Korea to embarrass Trump and to try to make him and make us falter. The Clintons gave him the reactors. The globalists are sided with China. That's all a set piece as well. This is a critical time, as critical for America since our founding, but more critical because of nuclear weapons and what's happened than even 1776. January 20th, 2017, when Trump did that inaugural speech and brought God back into America and said it's about the workers, it's about the people, it's about the great quest in the universe, it's about unlocking the secrets of the universe, it's about experiencing reality and consciousness with God. That was heavy, that was heartfelt, that was real. That was a decision not to hate humanity, not to abuse people, not to be consciously evil, but to believe in humanity and to move forward. It was a pro-human message, not a eugenics, technocracy, globalist message. And that's why Schmidt and others are having to leave, McCabe's having to leave, because the storm is real. The removal of the pedophile rings, tens of thousands arrested, not just for child porn, but with children. 6-month-old babies being sold out to be raped, gang raped by lines of men. I mean, this is all coming out, and they don't know what to do. You'd think one of these arrests where hundreds are arrested in L.A. and hundreds are arrested in Florida, or hundreds are, and there's the local coverage and then nothing, because they don't want you to know the deputy pope got arrested. They don't want you to know Sandusky's son got arrested and the head of the school and all the rest of it. They don't want you to know this is all happening. They literally created an army of people they could control who wanted to have sex with children and be evil and who they could destroy at any time. And what's even sicker is the people above that aren't even into raping kids. They just want to kill kids. The lesser vampires want to just feed off their energy and rape them. These people want to kill them. And so there's incredible things happening behind the scenes. Please pray for Infowars. Please pray for our whole operation. Please spread the links to newswars.com and prisonplanet.com and know that when you do that, it's changing the world. They're scared of this information. They have congressional hearings saying, block it. We're scared of it. Don't let it come out. And the executives go, sir, we banned it at lunch. We blocked their story at lunch. And what was it? Saying that a Muslim rammed a truck into people. They tried to say for days in Australia it wasn't a Muslim. And they wouldn't allow you to say that. When it was. And they now admit it. This is total bullying. Because they're scared of the next shoe to drop. But hey, they don't need to censor anybody. Put Zach back on. Thank you. They don't need to censor anybody when we just don't care and take it for granted and think, oh, you know, whatever, Trump's saying, everything's fine. Army intel officer. Attempted coup against Trump, imminent. We're going to add the word attempted. I mean, this is directly from their sources, their info, and it's the same thing they're saying in the news. But what Zach says is so important, the FBI's picked him up twice, and he's had to leave the country. Okay? And that's just one of our sources. So yes, QAnon, or at least part of the nom de plume out there, is accurate. But you never know if it's going to get taken over or get spoofed by somebody else. What you have to know is that there is a globalist organization that's taken over the country. It's against America, and we're bringing people in that are attempting to bring the country back. So that's my message. The article's up on Infowars.com. QAnon links resignation of Google Schmidt to Trump's executive order. FBI deputy director, now director, to quit, just as we told you. The storm is real. The storm is you. The storm is Trump getting elected. The storm is the economy. The storm is us being just good people. The storm is having honor and not being intimidated, not being threatened. And it feels so good to come through the intimidation, to come through the threats, to come through the media trying to destroy my family, and just the real forces of evil spiritually working through people to try to destroy us. But because of your prayers and your support, we've come through this so far. So let's pray for America. Let's pray for peace. Let's pray for the world. Let's pray for justice. But please pray for us, because we are at the tip of the spear. Pray for Zach. Pray for QAnon. Pray for everybody else that's telling the truth, because it is about Jesus Christ. And it is about understanding that that's what it's all about. And our enemy hates Christ. So that's where our rock is. That's where our fortress is. That's where our strength is. And I'll probably have more live reports as this unfolds. I plan to take a few days off, but I just can't, because this is too important. And they're still signaling they intend to take the president out. They're trying to act like he's removing Mueller. So they've told all their, that's key. They've told all their stay-behind networks, if he tries to remove Mueller, we're constitutionally in a crisis. He's a dictator, which isn't true. We're allowed to kill him. So that was their trigger if they could get him to do it, which some of my guests and folks thought it was a good idea earlier, because he was so criminal. Why leave him there? But now it all fell apart, so it's good that Trump didn't fire him. But the point is, in the last month, they've told their people the trigger to go after Trump and to try to kill him yourself, not just try to get somebody else to do it by hyping it in the media, is if he removes Mueller. So that's why they're like, he's removing Mueller. He's removing Mueller. He's doing it. It's happening. To create this whole storm of hysteria, to have their people hit the streets. The word is, Antifa has said they're going to start shooting police officers if Trump tries to remove Mueller. They're going to burn things down. They're going to go terrorist. That's been announced, and it's come out of the meetings. Again, that'll be the cover for whatever's going on, but Trump isn't doing that. But if they kill Trump, they're going to hit the streets as well. The minute you hear the president's been killed, which I pray doesn't happen, the minute that's happened, the order will go out to Antifa and their communists, and they will shoot every police officer on the street they can find. They will go to people's houses that are patriots, congressmen and others you can imagine, and they have death warrants, basically, that they believe, because these are mentally ill people that believe they're fighting evil, just like a suicide bomber, and they're coming. So you've got to be on maximum alert right now, because this is victory, but we're in a war, and you've got to understand that's happening. So I salute all our sources. I thank the Infowars family for what you've done. I thank Rob Dew for coming in here, and let me get you back to your wife, everything else that's happening. I appreciate you all, and I think I've covered most of it, but we've put out the big intel here, and this is real. This is happening. This is going on, and they are seriously considering trying to take the president out right now, as he just with law and with the corruption they're involved in forces them to resign and exposes what they've done and shows the crimes they've committed. As we get more loyal people to the country, a lot of them who are liberals, but they're not criminals that want to overthrow the nation, to the globalists, as this happens, they have less and less options, and they're not the types that give up, because they know the crimes they've committed and they're cornered rats. All right, Infowars.com/show for the live feeds. Spread this video as soon as it goes archived from YouTube and from Facebook. Spread this video far and wide with whatever headline you think best. Plot to kill Trump discovered. Trump is bringing down globalist network. They plan Counterstike. Must-see leaks from Intel insiders. I mean, this is it. Don't say you didn't hear it. You get next year's news today. You get the next decade's news today. You get tomorrow's news today. You get it here. We got our head in the game. We love you. We appreciate you. But we're risking it all, believing in you. You believe in us. Spread this video right now. You got to do it by hand on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere. Copy it to your own channels. Just get it out. Talk about this info. Because they say, Trump's doing a coup. We got to take him out. He's destroying democracy. He's removing our system. Blah, blah. None of it's true. They're saying he's a dictator that's in a coup, so he's got to be removed. Because everything they say, it's the opposite. All right, that's it. Have a Merry Christmas. I love you. I appreciate you. This is epic. This isn't a movie. It isn't a drill. It's real. They just hope you see this spectacular stuff going on and don't care and don't get excited about it. While their people are hopping mad excited, calling for Trump's blood and Trump's death. So I'm counting on you to get this video out and to make your own videos. You can see what they're doing for yourself. You can see the change. You can see this horrible globalist blight that hijacked our country being removed, praise God. This is real. This is a great Christmas gift, but they want to steal it, folks. Oh, this is so incredible. Do you want to say anything? Here, sit down. I'm always interrupting you. You come up here, and you're a smart guy. Our news director here. Go ahead.
I just want to say this as we go through this holiday season, Christmas season. Merry Christmas to everybody, but also we are dealing with a lot of mentally ill people out there that have been brainwashed. And instead of coming at them with a closed hand, come at them with an open hand, a closed fist. Don't come at them with a closed fist. Come at them with an open hand. And try to deprogram them. That's all you can do at this point because we are going into some crazy times. So,
well, look at how they infiltrated and tried to do this. I mean, they run ops, man.
Yeah, they're not going to hear you unless you're talking to those. I got it tuned up. But that's really all I have to say. And I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and that we can come through all this stuff, and that 2 years from now we're looking back, going, "Hey, we did the right thing. We put Trump in." And things changed for the better.
Tell them about Zach. I mean, you get to see the names. You get to see the IDs. You see all the intel. Tell them about
Well, Zach is real. We looked up on him. Like, there are articles out there about this guy. You can go look him up for yourself.
Well, we can't say his name yet.
Right. But he is who he says he is. He's not messing around, and everything he has said has happened. Now, and the next thing, he's afraid that an attack on North Korea is going to happen. And that's where we're at this point. Will an attack on North Korea happen? I hope not. I don't want to see that happen. But will they keep pushing? China and Russia have enough influence over North Korea to change the course of this. So it's sort of up to them to put North Korea on a track to not go, so we don't have to go to war with them. And that's hopefully that's where it will stay. But we'll see.
Keep going.
We'll see. I covered this Jerome Corsi article on QAnon. And but let's go over it. Let's actually go over it. This was it was the Global Magnitsky Human Rights Accountability Act that was passed, and
which targets sex trafficking.
It does. It targets sex trafficking and people trying to get out of areas where they're being attacked.
Oh, but it's not real. Trump's not going after that.
And so his executive order that he signed was to go after people who were responsible for this, based on what the State Department's own intelligence. McCabe, the big talk is in March, if he stays until March, he gets a full pension. This guy doesn't deserve to be paid anymore. He needs to be fired immediately. He should have to go out and find a real job instead of running around being a spy. Like in the vein of J. Edgar Hoover is what this guy's doing. He's running around trying to get dirt on people.
He's having to leave. How big is that?
Yeah. I mean, he was getting political contributions for his wife. He's having to leave, but he should be fired. He should not see 2018 as an FBI agent. And, basically anything they're doing to Trump, this is the Democratic playbook. Trump's working with Russia when the Democrats are. Trump's planning a coup when they are.
He already got elected.
Yeah. The coup was done by the American people saying we don't want to be under globalist control anymore. And so there we had the you have the Melbourne driver. His attack was motivated by mistreatment of Muslims. They don't want to show you that. They want to hide the video of the migrant playing the knockout game in Germany. We showed you that. Gunman with Middle East ties targeted police. This guy was from Egypt now. It's come out.
And leftists were on the site yesterday when I did a live feed about it, going, oh, it's on a Muslim. Now it's confirmed Islamic attack.
Exactly. And then Pier 39, Everett Aaron Jameson is the guy that the FBI went and arrested and converted over to Islam, was a Marine, actually got a sniper qualification. I don't know if you knew that. He was a sharpshooter. So he got that qualification. Now, the only interesting part about this is that the FBI informants say that he was going to back out of the plot. He had cold feet. But he also said he didn't want an escape route because he didn't need to escape. So, very interesting. Jonesy to come back in.
Go tell your son and tell my wife we're leaving in 2 minutes. I just want to say this right now because I want to respond. And I don't feed the trolls, but I want to respond to one of them because I want them to know who I am. I saw a guy saying Alex Jones is off camera doing blow. That's why he has so much energy. And that's a classic liberal for you, a classic fake liberal, not a classic liberal like Thomas Jefferson. They see me caring. They see me involved. They see me excited. And then they think, oh, my God, he must be on drugs, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I have had a Neuromonte and a coffee this morning, so I am on that. But the whole point is that I have a purpose-driven life. I enjoy doing this work. I mean, I get to talk to the president. I get to talk to intel patriots. I get to break massive news and change the world for the better. I'm excited about this. And on Christmas, nasty people in the comments saying crap like that. It's incredible. I am naturally high. And it makes me sick to hear crap like that. I mean, I wish I was like Trump, who doesn't even do anything but Diet Coke. That's a pretty bad drug, but I can't get off coffee. But it just shows the mindset that, oh, yeah, over 22 years, I built this giant independent media operation that's reached, just on YouTube alone, 6 billion people and have all these operations, and I'm in here using drugs like you filthy Hollywood scum. Again, I'm not for the drug war and all the rest of it, but everybody knows. Dude, do I smoke pot? No. No, I don't. Okay, do I drink? Yeah, I drink too much. That's it. But the point is, it isn't about that. It's about the coup information, ladies and gentlemen. I drink alcohol because I'm too damn alive, too awake. I take depressants like alcohol. And I take knockout at night with melatonin so I can sleep. Because I'm alive. See, I'm not dead like you. And it's not a message to the rest of our audience. But to the idiots out there, do you understand? I'm ready to give my life for freedom. I'm not a parasite. I'm not a child molester. I'm not a devil worshiper. I'm not all about me all day. You understand that? Getting back to what I was just going to say here, because my wife, we got to go. Here's the issue. They're openly all over saying they want a coup. They're openly all over the place saying this is going to happen. They've been pushing it. Their whole system's falling apart. They don't want to make Trump a martyr, but now it's all they've got. And our intel, not just from Zach, who's an officer at the highest levels of the secret government, okay, because they got to put some people in those. Google, with their little space command base out there that he mentioned. I don't need that from him, I know. The real, Space Command, folks. Look it up. They just announced it like 2 years ago, but that's the real shadow government, NASA, all that. And the point is that this is real, okay? And they want to take our tax cuts and our prosperity and our sovereignty back. It's super evil to have close to a 40% tax on corporations in the U.S., the highest in the world, so no one's based here. Do you understand? It's a tariff to shut America down economically to conquer us by the globalists. And Trump ended that. He ended the coal, our number one power source that everybody else has that we couldn't have. Why do you think the jobs are coming back? He's getting rid of the bureaucracy and the regulations that are internal tariffs to F you and your family. And then people that are weak-minded sit there and watch mainstream media and they think it's their friend. And they think it cares about them when it doesn't. It's not your friend. Hollywood's not your friend. Teleprompter chicks aren't your friend. People reading off teleprompters. They're there with a message to try to convince you. We've proven what we say. We've proven we have the intel. We've proven we care about you. We've proven we're fearless. We're proven that we love God. Doesn't mean we're perfect, but God Almighty, I love God. And I'm God-fearing. We told you Trump would win. We told you all of it. We told you about the spying and the cameras and the microphones and the crap and the New World Order and the NSA. All of it! And now they're going to try to kill the president because they want to stop your coup. The American people, the vote. They're saying our president's a coup. And it shows how crazy they are. They try to run those corpses, Bill and Hillary Clinton, those crazy, disgusting demons. They had sold the country out. They were so arrogant, they thought we'd buy that. We're not buying any of it. All right, that's it. Merry Christmas. I love you all. Have a great Christmas Eve. I appreciate you coming in the last 2 days. Tell Trish I really appreciate her. That's it. I got to go wrap presents and stuff. My wife's a sweet lady, but she's out there tapping her foot. You're right, dude. And it's right. I had these people confront me the other day, a whole family outside when I went to call My wife and I were having dinner with our daughter, and my other daughters were visiting their mom. I mean, it's other media lie. I don't have my kids. I got them 50-50. And they come over and start cussing at me and yelling at me, and I should have just gone, listen, I'm sorry the media did that to you. Let's really talk. But I couldn't do it. I talked crap back at them. And I repent. I shouldn't have called her a sea hag, and, but, it's the guys bowing up to me. And I shouldn't have said, hey, you think you're so tough. I'm trying. I don't want to be their enemies. They're victims. They're brainwashed. They're idiots. They were taught to hate America. They were taught their power is to hate America. They were taught their power is running America and social engineering. And they're just programmed globalists. So again, this is key information. Get it out to everybody. Infowars.com/show. If you just tuned in, at the first is the real breakdown of all this. Huge info. Yes, QAnon has accurate info, but there have been times they're planning to launch attacks that we backed them off. We have it from their own statements. So we're tracking all this. We have sources just as good or better. And we're just telling you this is really going on. This is really happening. So now's the time to be maximum vigilant and aware. Got to stop it. Infowars.com, newswars.com. Please spread the links. Please pray for us. And again, I want to thank you all for tuning in and being part of the transmission. Thank you. Whew, man, God. Oh, I hope we can stop this. We done?
I'm trying to stop it.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I just cannot believe we're in the middle of all this. I mean, this is so real, folks.